Last year, Kevin Smith finally bought the rights back to Dogma and released it in 4K theatrically. This year, we are finally getting a physical media release of Dogma, which hasn't seen a physical media release since its 2008 Blu-ray. Long out of print, Dogma has been discussed amongst physical media collectors for years as one of those movies that's hard to get, as expensive to get for the Blu-ray. Personally, I held up the last few years pretty fine with just the DVD and the VHS. The Blu-ray I found to be too expensive, so I stuck with these two. But when I found out it was getting a 4K release, I couldn't help myself. So today we're going to take a look at the new 4K release and compare it to the original DVD release, take a look at some of the special features, and proceed to get on my knees and blow Kevin Smith for the next 10 to 15 minutes. So this is the initial DVD release here. Special features listed are digitally mastered audio and anamorphic video, featured audio, English 5.1 and French, subtitles, talent files, theatrical trailers, widescreen and full screen presentation, and interactive menus. Let's be honest, not a whole lot going on there. The VHS release, while nostalgic, is basically just the same full screen port that's on this DVD. In fact, the marketing packaging is nearly identical for these both. You see what I mean? I actually kind of think it's cool that they look so similar. I don't have the Blu-ray, so we won't be looking at that today, but we will be looking at the new 4K. So let's pull it out of the sleeve, which I do think is cool. It's one of those little, I wouldn't say holographic, but it's, a little shiny there. Now let's pop this in and take a look at some of the special features. You'll notice, before it even gets to a menu, there's a physical media introduction with Kevin Smith.
Hey kids, it's me, Kevin Smith. Welcome to Dogma. I love physical media. Part of the reason we wound up with Lionsgate with Dogma is because I know Lionsgate, like me, is committed still to physical media.
Now this is a great little video introduction where Kevin Smith just talks about his love of film and physical media and his appreciation for people who collect it. Other new special features include Revelations, Making Dogma, Establishing Shot with Robert Yeoman, a new Dogma Q&A, more Sermons from the Mount, as well as all of the previous special features on the Blu-ray release. It includes a bunch of stuff that wasn't also on the Blu-ray but isn't technically new as well, so the special features alone are worth it. Now let's take a look at the comparison between the DVD and the 4K. Alright, so here we are. This is the comparison that I've put together. On the left you will have the DVD, and on the right you're going to have the 4K release. Now immediately you're going to see some color and definition changes here. If we take a bigger look at the DVD, you're going to see just how much of a clarity difference is when we switch over to the 4K here. Not just clarity, but color depth, more contrast, more saturation. Look at this comparison side by side and tell me that 4K isn't incredible. Sometimes when I do these 4K videos, I will fully admit the DVD or the Blu-ray looks better, in terms of color or, whatever, preference like that. Sometimes 4K scans look a little bit darker because they're closer to the film scan. They weren't brightened up like the Blu-rays were, maybe. Dogma looks fucking excellent on 4K. Let's take a further look. Do you see how green the DVD looks here? It's actually very incredible because the blues look very similar, but there's something in the skin and the hair tones that just, in the 4K, is absolutely incredible. And, the reveal of the Buddy Christ. Again, the comparison here is subtle because we're not looking at an actual human flesh, but just looking at George Carlin, this thing looks incredible. I was watching these on the same TV. I watched the 4K all the way through last night and just recorded these clips for this on the DVD this afternoon. And I was like, holy shit, this DVD looks like crap. And I'm usually not the type that says that. The DVD even looks stretched a tiny, tiny bit, doesn't it? The framing is a little bit bigger than the 4K, obviously you'll notice. Stuff like this is a little more subtle when you're looking at the 50-50 size comparison, but when I put it on full screen, you can definitely see the clarity differences here. This might be one of the best physical media releases of the year. Just in terms of film scan, that's wild, man. This is a funny scene regardless, and I love this movie, so I'm really stoked that the 4K actually came out this well, because I don't buy 4Ks for a lot of comedies. Wayne's World came out, I really love those movies, but I have them on DVD, and I think I might upgrade them to Blu-ray, and I'd be fine with that, but DVD looks alright, looks like a good shot, but then you see it in 4K, that's a cinematic shot. Fire always looks excellent in 4K, that's always one of the first things I like to look at if there's fire or big lights. However, I will say the DVD does retain a decent amount of it, surprisingly. Some of the texture there in the fire. Look how much more fucking vibrant that 4K is. Yes, this image is darker, but the colors are popping. You can actually tell what colors are in this. The green, the brown, the blues, the beiges. It's a lot muddier on that DVD, man. It feels surreal to be even like doing this comparison just because for so long Dogma wasn't physical media hell. 17 years between the Blu-ray and the 4K release, and that Blu-ray was out of print, you know what I mean? And for years I've just been watching the DVD when I want to watch this movie. Occasionally I'll watch the VHS, you know, but look at Alan Rickman here. That's crazy. Looks like he's right there on my screen, man. There's just so much more depth in these, like the shadows. It's much more of a dramatic film. We have the recreation of the scene from Ninja Turtles where April walks to her car and is rescued by the Ninja Turtles, and in this case, Jay and Silent Bob. Again, look at how much better that looks. This whole movie looks... On DVD, it looks like it's under the SAW filter, like the greenish hue, you know? Something I wouldn't even notice without putting it next to that 4K. Look at that. It's just brilliant. Look at the cement in the background. Holy crap. I genuinely didn't know what to expect when I bought this 4K. I was like, is this going to look very good, or does Dogma need an upgrade? Did I need this on 4K? Yes. Yes, I did. Look at that. Look at that. I bet if I put these images on top of each other, you could see what I mean when I'm describing it as stretched. Ben Affleck on the DVD here looks like his head is physically taller. Like, did they just stretch the image those last couple inches? Not inches, but you know what I mean? What would be a good way to even tell that? Again, it feels the same. It's just slightly, ever so slightly stretched to where it's hardly noticeable, but man, I've never felt like I've seen something like this in a movie. It's so much more noticeable on Ben Affleck's head. That motherfucker's stretched. Anyway, besides that being a reason to pick up the 4K, the coloring and the clarity differences, sometimes they're like minute when I do these comparisons, especially the clarity. Once I shrink it down 50%, I'm usually like, yeah, the color differences are noticeable, but this DVD scan was, man, not great. Still a great movie, though. Not ever sad that I have owned this DVD, by the way. Ah, the shit demon. Look at this guy in 4K. It's wild, man. Look at the coloring difference there. Green on the left, blue on the right. I think there was some sort of... Man, that color correction's awesome. It looks so much better. Look at the depth there. I'm here for it, man. I don't have the Blu-ray to compare it to, so I don't know how that looks, but just as we scroll through this, it's too obvious that the 4K is better. I love that. So many times when I do these videos, I'm like, man, you guys are going to be fine with the DVD or Blu-ray, but if you're a film nut and you got the setup, you want this on 4K, I think. God, the image, it's just such a better image. I can't help it. I'm sorry. I don't even know what to say. I'm just stunned. I'm watching through this and just, yeah, that looks better. That looks better. Talk about a fucking glow up, though. Yeah, dude, do you see what I'm saying? Ben Affleck's head looks stretched again. Specifically, his head is so easy to tell on. Let's try looking at this image and seeing. Yeah, you can see it. Chris Rock looks stretched as fuck. Man, it's fascinating. They say, you know, this film has been formatted to fit your home screen. They aren't kidding. They're just like, let's stretch a little bit. Fuck it. Alright, that image goes hard and you know it. Come on. I'm very satisfied with this purchase. As far as 4Ks go, this might be one of the best 4K scans I've ever seen. Which is crazy to say, but Kevin Smith, man. I don't know who did this or who worked on this for you, who you worked with. Woof! Look at her. Look at her in her glory. I mean, my god, man. The green hues from the tree, it just feels like it's bleeding over onto his skin in the DVD. They all feel like separate, colorful elements that are just popping off the screen in the 4K. I don't know how else to describe it. And as we take a couple last looks at here, some of the last frames I've got, it is just wonderful, man. Just looking at them side by side, it's an upgrade, man. And, you know, that goes without saying, but, like, I'm just really satisfied with this one. I think a lot of people will be. Let me know which one you think looks better in the comments down below. Are you going to be picking up Dogma on 4K? And if you like this video, be sure to check out this one and hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.